So just hard wiring the Garmin. Of course, on the World Raid, looking for the spare auxiliary plug, which was here on the left-hand side of the bike near the indicator. Got to take that side panel off to get in there. It's a bit tricky. It's covered by insulation tape, and then there's a little black rubber cap on it that you've got to take off. Once you've got that off, you can get in there and plug in your connector. Okay, so I've got a split connector there. Just got to decide how I'm going to use those, but one of them certainly going to the Garmin. Right, so we've got the Garmin on, it's charging. Tidy up all the wires, and probably a decent harness there to muck around with. I'm not going to chop it yet, but maybe I will. It seems to be working properly, so good stuff. Well, that's a bit of an exercise, and you'll find it in other videos to get into the USB port on the World Raid. Same thing, you've got to take off the headlight to get access. Once you've got access, it's a sealed unit. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to cut the wires. I didn't want to have to do that, but it's looking like I'm going to have to. And I'll just I'll crimp on some connectors. I think I could solder them, but I'll probably crimp them on just to make it easier in the future. But getting the headlight off, look, that was a bit of a deal. You've got to go through, you've got to pull out all your GPS and controller mounts and stuff like that. Lots and lots and lots of little screws to pull out. I could sort of film that on the way back, but I think, you know, there's probably other videos that do that. But the idea here is to take that existing USB and replace it with one of these. It's a little bit more fancy. So here we go, guys, just doing what everyone else does. You've got to file this out usually to put a modified USB port in. So look, it's just a plastic support that's here, so it's not hard, it's easy with a round bastard. And yeah, so we'll get that USB port in very shortly. Yeah, so we are installed and tested. Yeah, it's working pretty well. So it's a fast charger. So far so good. Bit of an exercise getting there, but everything seems in good shape. Put this on, and of course, okay. Yeah, a little bit upside down, a little bit annoying me. I don't have to fix that. That's minor details. There we go, we've got it installed. You can see the voltage there. We're getting what, 14 volts roughly on the motor. Good for charging. We've got now 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As, these. Yeah, so good to go. And just testing the newly installed cigarette lighter. And you might say, well, why have a cigarette lighter? We've got the USB down there, which you can see the voltage running off the motor is about 14.3 at the moment. It's good for charging. And of course, I mentioned the other auxiliaries over this side. We're going to plug in the magnetic charger, the induction charger for the mobile phone down there, and we've also got the Garmin plugged in this side. So look, there's a few things that are getting hardwired into these auxiliary connections. Cigarette lighter, well, basically to run a compressor and maybe some other stuff, I don't know, but might be handy. It might be handy starting fires. But anyway, so it's there. I'm sure it'll be useful. Now, for those that are wondering, yes, there is a second auxiliary port on the right-hand side of the World Raid. And It was difficult to find though, covered in tape, and right at the back behind the, I think it's the headlight harness. And so it was quite difficult to find, but it is there. So keep looking. If you haven't found it yet, it should be there. And it's great because it gives you more options. Anyway, I'm intending to put a splitter on this one, so I can have 2 connections. Not sure to what yet, but yeah, definitely can do it. Yeah, and there it is, just proof with the cap off. And yeah, so I'm just deciding what to do with it now, but definitely want to make it more accessible. So folks, yeah, so what I'm using is a splitter on this auxiliary cable, so I can get 2 connections. Haven't decided what I'm going to connect up to yet, but there you go. You can see it's connected now to the to that auxiliary port. And yeah, so now I've got these 2 ends. I can put the original rubber caps back on these. I've got 2 of them. I've used the same on the other side, by the way, one for cigarette lighter and one for my Garmin rugged mount. So I've got 2 more here, and I'm expecting I'm going to use one of these to hardwire a magnetic charger for the phone, and then the last one will be for possibly handle grips, warm handle grips. You know what I mean. Got that guy wired in there as well, so I've got plenty of USB ports. Reason being, doing a bit of photography, need to charge stuff, blah blah blah. But yeah, so the bike's going to be nicely set up when it's all done. Okie doke, but there's definitely an auxiliary port on the right hand side of the World Road. 2024 World Road.